I
and
can
it's
imagine
cold.
though being on special teams only being 2 downs. Like I can imagine though you got 2 downs to convert. If you don't convert, the ball out
That's
of
what
there.
I said. Hey, first year, man. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I was playing wide that one preseason game, and then I had to do punt, and then I was on punt return, and I was tapping my head like shit to the coach, like, hey, I'm dying, like I'm not used to this game speed,
Yeah.
and but then over time you kind of learn how to gauge like the motions and all that shit. So you it's like everything else in life. You just gotta get used to it.
True.
Absolutely.
That's what's up, though.
Well,
Logan, we ready, man.
let's rock it. Let's rock it. Let me go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, we are here with another 2013 national champion. We got 2 in the house right now. Kenny Shaw, he's a veteran here on Here the Spear by now. We're here with the 2013 national champion. Mr. Shaw is in the house. Mr. 300. Do people still call you Mr. 300? Like, is that gone now? Do people remember that?
Man, hey, you know it's crazy. You know it's crazy. I get so much random shit when I go out. Sometimes it's like, but you know it's always love because you know we came from a good home. Like Florida State is a good home base for college football players. Because I hear about my friends' teams and the fans. They don't give a shit about them anymore. But it's always love with Florida State fans, and I get a little bit of everything still. As funny as it sounds, because 300 is actually like cheap type shit. And I don't think people realize that then, but that's what make it funnier now. Like
People don't realize it. It's funny. I have a question about that later on too in the show, but I want to get started, and this is the reason I wanted to bring you on. Primarily is because of your camp that's coming up next month on April 17th. You've got a big one. This is your first one, and you have some big-time guest coaches coming, some highlighting names. I could just sit here for like 10 minutes talking about them, but we got Jameis Winston. Everybody, I think some people know that guy. Dak Prescott from the Cowboys. We got E.J. Manuel. He was on here just a few weeks ago. Telvin Smith. P.J. Williams, HaHa Clinton Dix, Ike Taylor. I'm a Steelers guy, so I know some Ike Taylor, and a ton of other guys. I think I saw Ronald Darby was on there on the website, added just a little bit ago. But tell me a little bit about your idea of doing the camp, how you think it's going to go. Just discuss it with us.
Well, the idea kind of surfaced from, like I said in the promo video, I kind of dove into the coaching world. After like a little adjustment period when my season got canceled in the CFL. And it kind of, you know, sometimes in life you do things that you don't know it's going to be a calling, because I was literally like at Florida State in spring 19 session while trying to get my degree, and was like kind of going through the ropes with the receivers and Blackman and all of them. So I didn't know at the time that I want to coach, but it kind of surfaced into that. So, I said after my first year officially coaching, I was going to throw a camp, and, you know, kind of, I was initially going to do it January 16th, the day after my birthday, but COVID and the facility usage and all that hoorah stuff, it got, I had to alter it. So April 17th became a date, and I said to myself, it's going to be a little bit mixture of a lot of guys that I have a walk of life with in my football world. Florida State guys, you see guys like Taylor and all that. You probably asking how that happened, and Los will tell you Tom Shaw. And you know, the football world is small, so I said, you know, it'll be good for my community, because that's really what I want to get across to the community too. That, you know, being that this is my first one, they probably been waiting for years, and it's deeper than what I'm explaining. But you know, sometimes in the community they think that you forget about them a little bit, but you know, I'm going to come big, so I'm trying to come with my guys.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely going to be fun. I'm asking if I can come. I mean, I got to see if me and Dustin can come by and slide by and
come by, man.
I got to get some coverage. I got to get some coverage out there on it because it's stacked. You got, obviously, we already talked about Jameis, but you got P.J. Williams too, Terrence Brooks, Havion Elliott. Let's see who else. Of course, like I said, Ronald Darby. And Nigel Bradham too. Got Christian Jones.
I haven't named the running backs or the receivers. So obviously, you know, Los a running back. Los, you got Freeman and all them coming. So hey, it's a reunion. It's a reunion for real.
Listen, it's good. it's gonna be funny being down there because a lot of guys get together around Pro Bowl season and how the Pro Bowl, Orlando is, how Pro Bowl didn't get together. It's gonna be a good time, man. Not only a great camp, but a good time. Like I guarantee Sam's gonna check in. I know Devontae gonna check in. It's gonna be a good time.
100%.
I think we got to be there for coverage. There's got to be some kind of media coverage there. So I'm just gonna put in my. I'm gonna try to get a credential to get in there, Kenny.
Yeah, man, and stop messing me on Instagram. You might as well get my number.
I know.
Sometimes Instagram, I be off that thing. Like I got to get off that thing.
Dude, I can't message on social media all the time. You just text me or call me. That's how I want to work from here on out. But yeah,
but y'all invited.
Tell them about where they can find the camp, and then the different age groups, because I know there's 2 different times, if I'm correct.
Yeah, and the 2 different time surface because of, just with the protocol, I don't want to have it too flooded out. So I got a 1st through 7th grade session and a 8th through 12th grade session, and even as we going along with this month, like I got goddamn some of my old teammates who don't even play skill positions coming, so I might have to open it up for O-line and D-line, because Big Cam Irvin and Timmy Jernigan want to come. It's Eddie Goldman, so I might have to open it up to some big hippos, you know what I mean? So
tell me about your relationship with Dak Prescott. How'd that come about? How'd you get to know him?
Well, it came about with Tom Shaw. He was, gosh, what year did he come out? I don't know what year by heart, but we was basically training with each other every day. He needed a receiver to run routes for, and I was getting ready for my season, so it was a good connection for each other, and we just stayed along, like I said, with this life, and fun fact, I asked him on April 10th because initially it was April 10th that I rescheduled the camp to. Dak's like, oh man, my girl birthday. So I said, hey, if I change it, will you come? He said, hey, I'm there if you push it back to the 17th. I said, and then I literally texted, I said, don't play with me now, because look, I will find you. And you think the media coverage is worse. I'm gonna be worse than media. So
or Jerry Jones.
But that's my boy. So we always been close, and like I said, sometimes too in life too, you don't know somebody for that long, but y'all just hit it off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. No, like y'all were just saying, it's going to be a reunion definitely for the 2013 guys. Even before that, like that's going to be like that's what I'm saying. We got to be there to take some pictures.
Some of my media guys talking about we're gonna mic you up, because sometimes they mic me up for my training sessions on Saturdays. And I said, please don't do that, because I'm gonna be cutting up. Hey, Los,
I'm telling you.
Hey, Los.
I'm telling you. Hey, I'm getting a GoPro, whatever, body cam, just for that. Because I'm telling you,
Los, I fly on the radar. They think I'm quiet, but
listen. No, what it is though. I was just gonna ask Kenny a question, like, your relationships, and you hear he say it's always love. It's always love. Kenny was a part of Jimbo's first recruiting class, but prior to even getting to Florida State, that area of Central Florida from Tampa to Orlando, it had a lot of great football between 2008 and 2011. Was a lot of great football. And Kenny, you got a lot of that greatness coming from your time in high school before you even got there. Like, what's some of the lifelong lasting relationships you got from being at Dr. Phillips, training with Coach Shaw, and even coming out of Orlando before you even got to Florida State?
Man, Dr. Phillips, as some people might know, is a big community, and I wasn't zoned for it. Now I can't get in trouble no more shit, but I wasn't zoned for Dr. Phillips, but I got in through it, through with my mom being a teacher at the school, so I got a good transfer. But I always knew Dr. Phillips was a community, being that Ryan Moore came out of there. Florida State had a linebacker, Ricardo Wright. So at the time, I was a Hurricane fan growing up, but throughout the walk of the recruiting process, shit changed. You be like, no, I don't want to go here. No, I don't want to go here. But you just meet so many great people, and also I tell ball players too. I said you don't always have to be friends with football players. Like I met some guys who they can't even touch their toes. You know what I mean? Like they have no athletic bone in their body.
That's what you picked, Kenny. That's what you picked for not being athletic. If you can't touch your toes.
Hey, Logan. Hey, I just try to be. I'm exaggerative sometimes. That's how I teach routes to the kids. Sometimes you gotta be exaggerative. But I also, like I said, like sometimes a person can't. They not as athletic, and you don't write them off. But you know, Alex, you remember Alex, our PT?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alex, oh man, still to this day, he got me back from my knee, my tearing all 3 ligaments in my knee, like lifelong brother. But
it's
you
crazy.
know, the list goes on. Like I got y'all, I got I got.
It's crazy because you know, like okay, Vince came on. We had EJ on, and they talk about the guys that they were close with, and it's just crazy that you see the years of guys of closeness. And
Christian Jones, like that whole class, our whole first, like the Central Florida, we like I kind of told it on one podcast. I was like, we had a secret commit. Like we were secretly committed to FSU a year before going. Like Christian Jones, Telvin, like all of it. And it was just like to this day, from 2010 on, that's why I can't wait for our reunion. I can't wait for our reunion because our reunion, they might have to shut down Tallahassee because it's going up.
Oh,
yeah,
it has to
like
be.
that closeness of that.
We got so many memories. You got so many memories of like people say only national championship, but we got the funniest stories. We got the most dramatic stories that we still can laugh about to this day.
Yeah.
Me and Kenny are a lot closer than a lot of people know, man. me and Kenny have experienced me grow up. Kenny has experienced me.
Hey, I watch all y'all from afar. And you
yes.
know, hey, I'm a people watcher.
Also, Kenny, you watch me from afar, yet very close at the same time. At the same time.
But you know, I was explaining that the other day. I was like, you know, girls are catty. Like I was explaining this, and I was like, you know, girls are catty. That's why they it's hard for them to have friendships long lasting. I was like, guys, like literally my best friend in South Carolina, I cannot talk to him for a whole year, and we link up, and it's all lights out.
Yep.
But that's just us guys. Like we don't.
That's brothers.
Dustin, you go ahead and throw that question I had bolded.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought we were saving it for later.
Hey.
But yeah, Kenny, you know, obviously it's not that big. Obviously, you played at Florida State, you know, from 2010 to 2013, and during that time, you got to play with three quarterbacks that all ended up being first-round picks: Christian Ponder, EJ Manuel, and Jameis Winston. Who would you say was your favorite quarterback to play with in Tallahassee?
Oh man, this is a hot seat question.
Maybe it is a tough question. Hold up.
Maybe it's bigger than I thought.
You know, hey, you know they prep us a lot for interviews and shit before we even take an interview.
Yeah, but
no. But to get around this question and to be as honest as possible, they all had certain traits that made you gravitate towards them. Like, EJ threw me my first touchdown. I will forever be indebted to him. He hosted me on my recruiting trip when I was a senior in high school. Christian Ponder, oh man, he was the first college quarterback that I was like, this dude works. You know what I mean? Like this dude, he's squatting with the D lineman. Like Christian Ponder was his work ethic was, he was the first dude actually to take on Jimbo and can shut Jimbo out. And I respect him just for that. No, because Jimbo was a intimidating coach. And especially at the quarterback position, it was just like, he's right behind him in practice. Like I was like a little gnat, and it's like, that's tough. But and then you got Jameis. Like Jameis will forever be a brother. Like we shared the same birthday week. We got a title together. Shit, we got some great nights out. Like, you know, all of them have they walks and
Mhm.
like me and Carlos can both attest to. Each guy on the team, it can be a guy that we forget their whole name, but we see him in person and we be like, holy shit, and call him his nickname. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
You got.
that's just college football. Like that, the years you spend is
I was gonna
you
add.
appreciate it as you get older.
Yeah, I have two questions here. I was gonna ask, going back to Jameis too, and I know Los can also comment on it for both of you guys. What was it like going through that year with all the press and media? It felt like they were right outside the door every single morning. I mean, they were all over Jameis and the accusations that were being made. But how did that, how were y'all able to block that out? Was it Jimbo? Was it y'all's media relations helping block that out? How as a team, because it also had to have affected you guys too, seeing y'all's biggest leader, just getting, derailed on social media and getting hit with articles every week. How'd y'all go through with that?
Man, like I say, when you sweat, you bleed, and you also go through so much with a person, it kind of makes you take on that person's problems. And once that happens, it makes everything that much more easier. Like literally, we had no stress that year. We still had fun. We still, media come out. Oh, we still grind the next practice. Like whatever it took, we knew that we had a goal at hand. So, man, it was a lot of key factors to that year. The trainers, we had great coaching staff, the players, from everybody from damn the equipment managers who, we just had a goal, and we would forever appreciate that. And it was no pressure.
Like to add to that, to Kenny said everything that was in detail, but the word was win. That's it. Wonder how you kill media, you win. You wonder how to shut people up. No matter what's going, no matter what goes on outside those walls. When you line up inside a doke, or your plane takes a trip to an opposite city, and you put on pads and cleats and you're inside the white lines, you come out with a W. The media can't say nothing else because you have to talk about the win. You got to talk about the win. You have to talk about the win. You have to talk about. You couldn't say nothing else until after the season was over. Until we lost, you couldn't say nothing. I mean, you had to wait an entire year of going undefeated, of him. I mean, of what they say, him doing what he wanted to do, and him having these outbursts or whatever. But we were winning. You can't talk about nothing else when you're winning. You can't have allegations going on when you're winning, because you got to keep talking about the wins. And I think, like we talked about it with EJ. EJ said that the leadership that came with Kenny, that came with Christian, that came with Telvin, that came with those guys before our class. That's what they understood, that hey, we the old heads. We got a young guy. Okay, maybe it may be this, but I know if we keep winning and we keep our eye on the prize, we're gonna be fine. And that kind of rolled over to the next year. We had a lot of young guys on the team, but we knew if we kept winning, Cam, Rashad, O'Leary, the whole offensive line, we knew if we kept winning, focus on winning, focus on the next game, then the folks, we couldn't worry about the media, what the media was talking about. It didn't matter.
100%.
So I got a question to follow up on that. It's a good segue. When did you know that team was going to win the national title? Like, walk us through, just your thoughts on that season and how that season went.
Shit. Hey, honestly, I knew it was gonna be special from the time where we didn't have coaches to force us to do 7-on-7 right after classes and stuff like that, it was a thing the years following. Like, we had to make group chats and everything, but just to have a whole team doing 7-on-7s before spring ball, that's big.
There was a lot.
Because it's a certain grace period where the coaches can't really force us to do anything.
That was crazy though, because even Stork and O lineman came out and did steps, and they came in at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, did steps. Then they worked out, and then they went to class, and then we had so before, that's crazy though. We really did govern ourselves.
Yeah, but that comes from each year. We just elevating, like in 10 we beat a good South Carolina team, in 11 we beat a good Notre Dame team. Then we hit the Orange Bowl, and then we was like, hey man, we made it to BCS. What's next?
Why not?
Like, it's sky's the limit.
And you were known for your ability to run routes. So, I covered you some in high school from the old scout.com. So I've been familiar with you for a while. And even in high school, you were just better than guys when it came to route running. And, you just got better as your time at Florida State went on. So, how did that all come about? What was it, working with Tom Shaw? Was it just, natural ability, a combination of everything? How did you become that guy who was so precise?
Shit, hey, I wish I could have answered this question way back in the day, but I figured the question that you asked, like I figured out as I'm like coaching these kids nowadays. I think that I tapped into my why I'm playing football. I wanted to get out of my situation. I knew moms couldn't handle paying for a prestige college like Florida State. You know what I mean? Like I made it a thing. 7th grade, I said, I'm gonna earn my scholarship. Like you ain't got to worry about none of that. And then I kind of tell the guys, everybody want to go on with their strength. Like, oh, I run 4.4, all this. Like, I had to, I knew my weaknesses, and weaknesses was always, it's going to be size. It was going to be, I wasn't the fastest, but so I had to tap into that and work on how I can get around that. And I knew routes was going to be a thing. And I just took off from that. Like, I knew that if you couldn't touch me, and if I can do something, like I told Logan, I can be exaggerative with it, then I'm gonna make it far with this.
Logan, I got two funny little snippets for you.
So one second. Go ahead.
First time I met Kenny, he had a Tennessee Volunteer hat on. He was this big.
I did.
And we was like, Coach, like we met Nick, Patty, and the other guys from that. Like, who is this? Nice to meet y'all, blah, blah, blah. And Coach Shaw say, hey, Vince, Carlos, watch this kid run a route. And I'm talking about Santonio Holmes out there, Calvin Johnson's out. Hey, watch this kid run a route. Over the dollar, watch this kid run a route. And Ike T lined up on him. Ike T, first day meeting him, Kenny put sauce on him. Quick slant. Boop, 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 boop. Knees inside. The boy like a baby giraffe. Knees is tight. From that day forward, we knew they called him Snoop. Snoop Minutes called him Little Snoop. They
did call me Snoop. I'm like, what y'all?
They knew he was gonna be great.
No, I thought they was calling me Snoop Dogg this whole time.
No, but they called him Snoop Minutes because they knew he was gonna be great. I got goosebumps. And then you remember we ran my freshman year. We still had the big hills on the foot practice fields. We ran down to one-on-ones, and John and the combi ran up to go against you first in one-on-ones.
A combi. Oh my God. Listen, how do you remember this?
He hit him with the sickest, like, off the line. Beautiful hezzy off the line. Quick feet. He sat him down. Coach Stoops yelled at him and said, son, as long as you wear guard on the goal, don't you ever go first in my line again in one-on-ones. Don't you ever do that again. Kenny was deadly. Like, it was a very select few to go up against Kenny, to go up against Burt. Nobody just lined up there. That's dangerous, man. Dangerous.
I tell the guys, like I say, I got a whole receiver in core, and I actually had one of my receivers get a Florida State offer 2 weeks ago. Like, Dugans hit me up, and it's like, hey, keep doing what you're doing. That guy's gonna be good. And I told this guy too. I was like, the quicker that people learn that you can't be like this guy on the TV, you have to tap into your own self. Like, you have to find. It's not bad adding something into your bag, but you still have to find yourself. And I went to Florida State 155. That was probably with my cell phone and everything in my pocket. But you got to find yourself. Like, and you can say the same thing. Like, you knew that you had to be Carlos Williams.
I feel you.
I was going to ask you, real quick, who was the hardest DB you've ever gone against? And we can start off at FSU, but maybe it is at FSU. But which one at FSU was the hardest you went against?
Hey, I knew every time Jordan lined up, it was going to be a battle. Then I knew if I was on outside, Xavier Rhodes, it was going to be a battle. And then sometimes I get a snippet of Jalen Ramsey. And then if I had to go deep, I knew I had to outrun Darby, which is hard because he's a 4.2. So it was just iron really do sharpen iron. So with as Carlos can attest to it, our practices were battles. Our practices was harder than the games. If I'm being totally honest, like our camps were, it got to the point where it was like you might have to have security out there because we might get in a scuffle. Well, more so because we're tired of shit than trying to get a break.
Hey, that's real vet break. You get a vet break. Roll around real quick.
Yeah.
Hey. Even Jimbo talked about that, on a podcast this past year, a practice where you guys went 32 times at goal line.
Bruh.
Man. Hey, you know what? I was happy as shit because look, it was a long practice, and goal line, you ain't gonna keep 165 in there. You're gonna have one receiver, your jump ball guy, and so them 30 plays, I'm just watching it with amazement. Like, hey, they are hitting. I'm glad I'm not running back. I couldn't. Certain people think I'm tough, but other positions, I give my hats off to them. But that was that stuff like that builds the identity of a team. You know what I mean? Like, say we folded in those first 5, like the offense was like, oh, I want to hang up practice. We want to be the same.
No,
every team.
No, I don't. It just that team wouldn't let it happen.
I think you're gonna have to get security for your camp next month because the story of Timmy Jernigan ripping kids' friggin' helmets off. I mean, we got to make sure. We got to make sure Timmy's.
I'm glad he on my side. Hey.
Oh no, he'll watch out for you guys. I love Timmy Jernigan. He's my favorite, man. But is he supposed to come to the camp next month?
Yeah. Oh. Like I said, I still each day I do a different position group. So I think I'll do D-line next. Then I'll go to running backs. Then receivers, I'll do that last.
True. Speaking of your toughness too, and I'm sure it's been asked so many times. Obviously, the hit against number 1 Oklahoma, 2011, second quarter, 13 minutes left. About had a touchdown right here. But the hit that you went through, tell us about that, the recovery from it and everything. That was a brutal hit.
Hey, it was Seattle. That was the call. In Seattle, I have a hash read, whether it's cover 4 or cover 3. If it's cover 3, if the safety in the middle of the field, I keep it up the hash. If it's cover 2 or cover 4, I bend it in. So it was a cover 4 look, and literally all I remember is just boom, touchdown. Like I read the field. I knew it was coming to me. Like sometimes when you get that call, you know that it's coming based off film study. And I knew it was coming, but I didn't know the sandwich was coming. So I tell everybody when they ask me to, they were like, hey, did that shit hurt? I was like, honestly, no. Like I came back and played in the Clemson game. They called the same damn play too, and I'm not gonna lie, I was scared in Death Valley when they called it coming off and knocked out the week prior. So for the record, the hit didn't hurt, but the Florida one hurt like shit.
Yeah, that one was nasty too.
Hey, the Florida one, that's the one I had. If you run back that clip more and more, you'll see me. I tapped the Dawsey. Like I celebrated the act like I didn't get hurt, but I came off the field for sure.
You had to do it in front of them Gators.
And speaking of the Oklahoma game, we've talked to EJ Manuel and Vince Williams about what was the best environment they played in. They always seem to go to that Oklahoma game. What would you say was the best environment you had played in at Florida State?
At Florida State?
Or just in your career, however you want to do it.
I mean, at Florida State, definitely that game, no question. I mean, shoot, LeBron James was watching that game. And it was a big one. Basically, it was a big one because people don't remember that year that we went up to Oklahoma and they mercy ruled us. I think like it was. I don't know, the score was like 63 to like the 14 or something like that, but they put a whooping on us. But I just know that game for sure as a home game was the most between that and Clemson. But nothing will ever beat the Rose Bowl feeling. And I bring up the Rose Bowl because I was talking about this to a coach today. He was like, when you played at the Swamp, do you feel like that old historic type moment when you walk in there? Like, do you feel like a lot of legends don't came through there? And I said, it's crazy. You actually kind of do. Like, it's just, and that's what I felt like with the Rose Bowl. It feels like it's like an older stadium that a lot of greats don't came through. And the same, I can say the same thing about the Swamp.
Kenny, when you scored a touchdown in quite a few stadiums, like what's the most satisfying place you've scored in? Like when you scored, you're like, wow, I've scored here. Was it at Florida State when you finally scored a touchdown, knowing that a lot of receivers have came here and scored in this stadium? Was it like a surreal moment?
Well, the first one's always a surreal moment, especially how mine came. It came like literally like in the grind time. They put in the backups. Me and EJ. It was just a simple rollout play, and I scored my first touchdown. It was just like, damn, like I was just in high school last year. Like this don't feel right. Like I have no choice but to go celebrate later on at Chubby's. It was Chubby's at the time. I have no choice but to celebrate tonight because this is a big moment for me, and nobody can take this away from me. But obviously, another surreal moment came scoring after the Oklahoma knockout. Like in Clemson, it was like, damn, like I was just in the ER the week before, and I'm scoring a touchdown with Clinton Trickett, like another guy came in to Tallahassee with, and it was like, you got a couple surreal moments. I feel like each touchdown in college football, because you're playing for so much more than when you get to the pros. Every feeling, it means something. Shit, just seeing the horse come out, it means something. You get the goosebumps.
Whenever,
yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
While we're talking about you scoring touchdowns, I actually wanted to bring one up. Back in 2013, you guys were playing at Boston College, and you were down 17-3, battled all the way back. There's a couple seconds left in the half, and Jameis just chucks it up to you. You come down with it in the end zone. Y'all take the lead and go on to win the game. What was that moment like, and can you just describe the play?
Oh, the moment was, how y'all initially asked about the Jameis situation and how we handled all that stuff like that year. Every Thursday, Carlos will attest again, we hated Thursday because it was a lot of Thursday was our situation day. And we had situations where it's like we backed up coming out of the end zone. We had 2 minutes, and we always worked 2 minutes. So we never worked the Hail Mary. We always worked the jump ball, but KB was the jump ball guy. I was always like if he tip it to me, I'm in front. But that play was just literally felt like this guy would just had me just grab that shit. Honestly, like it was a scramble drill. My football, I guess my football skill set kicked in at the time too. Like I try and explain it all the time, but it's hard to explain when you're not in the moment no more. But at the time watching it, it was definitely like, I'm glad the damn referee ain't called a not getting set by Pops though. Christian Green, he wasn't set on the play. I'm like, that could have easily been a
flag.
Yeah, Pops, but that's Pops though. Pops, oh man.
Hey.
Christian Green.
Man, hey, you gotta love.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You gotta you ask Kenny, you just gotta love Pops.
My freshman roommate. Hey, that's my first college roommate, Pops.
His nickname, like
Christian came to university 45 years old.
Yes. Christian Green lives, acts like an old man. Like he's been 75 from the day he stepped in college.
Is there any
that throw by Jameis is one of his best throws he's ever had.
That was nuts.
Were you surprised? I know you were, a scramble drill and you ran down the sideline. Were you surprised when you saw that ball coming to you that he made that throw?
Surprised? I wasn't really surprised because that guy, his body might not look like it, but he can do some shit. Like,
he looks great now.
Yeah, he do. And I think that's because his adulthood, the manhood is kicking in now.
Yeah.
Before he was just an Uncle Joe, you know what I mean? Like but he always had a knack for just getting out of anything. So we knew that as a receiver, but I knew when he threw that ball in the air, my eyes got really big. I will not lie about that, but I knew that, hey, it's just me and this guy, and it's on me. And once I came down with it, I said, hey, what celebration do I do?
Was that a 300 one? Because you got to tell us about where the 300 came from.
That was like some Terrio shit. Like, I wish I would have Kodak Bop or something. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you see some old stuff of you and you like, dang, I wish I would have.
What did Jimbo said to you when he got back to the sideline?
Nah, Jimbo ain't say nothing. One thing about Jimbo, he's a hardcore, intimidating coach. But when you win in and you're doing it because we were still humble. Like, that team was very humble for what we got hit with that whole year. Like, and at one point, he just let us be loose a little bit. And once you get a green light to a team like that, it was no way we was going to lose.
Nate, go ahead with yours.
We already asked that, bro. We already talked about the national championship.
Oh, Jesus! I'm just I know. How was it though being in Pasadena? Because y'all, maybe I'm just eager to find out what the party was like when y'all got back. Was there any kind of situations? We had Freddie on 2 weeks ago, and he was saying the situation in Pasadena. He spent all his money at the Gucci store. But Gucci Freddie now.
Everybody got their own little stories. I know. I took my night in kind of calm because I knew we had a flight. That's one thing about Jimbo. He wasn't gonna let us stay too long in a away game. So I knew we had to be on that flight, and I was gonna save my celebration for Tallahassee, which is not a bad place to celebrate in.
Yeah, what was the night like then?
The Rose Bowl is like the ultimate stadium to play in my opinion. So like you already said that was a great place to play in. But for Florida State to win a national title in that stadium was something that I always wanted to see. So it was awesome to watch as a fan.
What was the party scene back in Tallahassee? Because I'm just going to keep on asking until someone tells me. What was going on when y'all got back? What was the move? Because we saw, y'all got to remember, like, social media was like really starting to kick then. I mean, I had PJ Williams on the Snapchat. I was seeing what he was doing 24/7. Ronald Darby. I had Jameis too. I could see everything what y'all were doing. But what was the move?
You didn't see me though. Hey, I like to be incognito. Nah, but it was just a blessed thing. Like, everybody was enjoying it. Like, people been waiting a long time.
It was love.
Yeah, people was waiting a long time. So it was nothing that was gonna be looked down upon. It's to put it like that.
Los, you ain't commented?
Man, listen, the streets ran rampant. The streets ran crazy. I got off the bus.
When we got off the bus,
I didn't go home.
Where's that Taco Bell is that Tennessee Street?
Yeah. West Tennessee.
It was some streakers. Like, we flew in, and our bus route, we come and turn left near that Taco Bell, and it was some streakers going to Taco Bell. I'm like, Tallahassee is the place where sometimes you just got to keep it going. Like, you see some weird stuff in Tallahassee.
But listen, when that bus came, when we came around to the stadium, we could barely get in the stadium. We could barely get in. I had my book bag on. I had a suitcase. I didn't even go home. Go home for what? No, man. I mean, it was all love. I mean, the city had been waiting. Like, we won the first BCS. I always tell people this: we won the first crystal ball, the first one, and the very last one they made, we took it out of there, and nobody can say that. I mean, when you win a crystal ball like that, I mean, it's treasure, man. I mean, it's crazy. They don't make those anymore. They had a whole.
They still owe us something for not doing the White House thing.
They wild for that, man.
Yeah, what was up with that? Y'all ever get any word back from that?
I think we all know because that was because of Jameis, man.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you the truth though. We would have at the food up there.
Hey.
Like, listen, LSU might have been dancing with the first lady.
Yeah,
we want to see the secrets. We want to see everything we're not supposed to see. We got people walking off, not listening.
Too authentic. We were just too us, like
listen.
But like I said, hey, I would take not going to the White House over a reunion coming up any day. So
instant classic.
We talked a little beforehand, but we're partnered with Chick-Fil-A now. So what is your go-to meal at Chick-Fil-A?
Shoot, hey, I just got put on the breakfast. I never had the breakfast until the other week. Pretty good. But my go-to meal is this. Depending on how hungry I am, I go with the nuggets. So I either go with the 8 or 12 with the Chick-fil-A sauce and a frozen lemonade thing. Oh, that thing is love.
You got
never had the frozen lemonade? Huh?
Grilled or fried nuggets?
Fried.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. What's the sauce? The biggest question for me is always sauces. I'm going to barbecue spot. I'm going to get chicken. What's going on? What's the sauce?
Chick-fil-A sauce.
The regular, nothing else? Keep it nice and simple?
Oh, man. Hey, I like to keep it nice and simple sometimes. I don't want to do too much on my sauce, but you can't go wrong with Chick-fil-A sauce.
No, it's good. It's magical.
Y'all know y'all sponsored by them. Y'all gonna put me on? What
I'm bringing you. I'm bringing you a few of these. We got some free meal cards. I'm gonna bring it on April. This will be my credential. These will be our credentials when we come.
Better bring it for the whole camp.
Bring those at the gate. Bring those at the gate.
Hey, we hide them from Timmy Jernigan though. He can't see these.
Logan,
it was 1 point. I'm not. Go ahead, Carlos.
What's the sandwich?
A spicy grilled. It's got to be the new spicy grilled in my opinion. It's good. It's heat. If you like spicy, that spicy grilled one is. They just introduced it a couple weeks ago, but that hits differently, and it's grilled too, so you feel better about yourself when you're ordering it. But it ain't changing much. But
no, it was 1 point in life though. I gave Chick-fil-A up for a whole year.
You have to. It gets addictive, and then on Sundays you crave it the most.
The Chick-fil-A bowl game. They gave it to us for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. And I literally, I came from Atlanta, and I said, hey, y'all can wait in that damn line in Chick-fil-A. I ain't going to it. Like, I am done.
Forgot about that.
Too much.
Yeah, just kind of sticking with the food questions. I think you mentioned Chubby's earlier, but I guess overall, what was your favorite place to eat at in Tallahassee?
Hey, top 5, definitely Chubby's Chicken. Hey.
Take Chubby's over Guthrie's?
100%.
Oh.
100%. Chubby's Chicken?
I don't know. We got a lot of people that come on here and they're Guthrie's fans.
I got a couple more for you. I missed the hell out of Mr. Roboto.
I did too, man.
Okay.
Hey, look. Hey,
it's so good.
I got one.
That's a good one.
El Jalisco, you want to go Mexican?
Solid.
And, I like to keep the chain going. I'm a Hooters fan. I will admit. I like the Buffalo shrimp at Hooters.
You don't like Hobbit?
Sure, that's all you like.
Hey, the Buffalo shrimp. Hey, what else? What's the place? Hobbits.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hobbit has good wings.
Jimmy Milt's.
Yeah.
Jimmy Milt.
Classic.
Tallahassee got too much. If you're on a diet, stay out of Tallahassee.
What about Whataburger? You kick it with Whataburger?
I never had Whataburger in my life. But I've always seen people go in there.
Oh, you've always seen people go.
There's nothing like a 3M Whataburger run. Nothing.
No, literally, I never been in Whataburger.
What?
But I'm pretty sure it's good because it's always somebody in here.
Oh no, it's always packed too. If you're going out, that's the place to go after you're going out because, boom, you always want greasy food. So I mean, the drive-through takes forever. But the West Tennessee Street.
You talking about 3 a.m. I might sit my head down at Waffle House. Los, you with me?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's crazy too, Los? I'm gonna rock it. I might rock it this year, but I got a Waffle House half sleeve.
Hey, I swear, if you rock that,
hold on.
swear. I swear.
Nah.
Gotta wear it at the camp.
No
That would
way.
be some classic. That would be classic.
We gotta see this. A Waffle House sleeve. I was making sure you
Where do
didn't
you
say
get
it.
one at?
I was hoping
Double P.
Hey,
you gotta put that
you
on
know
right
the
now.
motto, You know what the motto is with this?
What is going
Hey,
on?
you gotta be open 24/7.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm open 24/7.
Give it to me.
I gotta get a picture for Twitter. Hold up.
All right.
Let's see. Gotta be open 24.
They got to
Nah,
be open
that is-
24/7.
Nah.
You got it?
Yeah, I think. Wait, yeah, now I got it.
Hey, Lowe's, I saw him cooking my bacon. I said, hey, man, I rock half sleeves. You know that's my thing. I do one half sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
I said, can I get one? He went to the back and gave me 2 brand new ones.
Oh my! You gotta bring at least one of those next month to the camp too.
Bro, it's, hey,
Please.
matter of fact, you better. Hey, I would go find another one. You see the MVP get a Waffle House half sleeve.
Oh, man.
Well, hey, this kid right here been open all camp, man.
Hey, you know what I did say? You know what I did say about that too, Los? I said, man, this camp, no goddamn award. This generation now, they too much. They give like 5th graders. Oh, this the All-American. You be like, what the hell? How is he a 5th grade All-American?
You know
Like, I
what
like-
teacher used to tell me? You
Huh?
cannot talk, Los, until you play down to high school football. I couldn't talk at workouts.
Go
From
with
middle
the-
school until my sophomore year of high school, I could not say a word at workouts. When 9 o'clock hit, I had to stop talking until 3:15 until we stopped working out.
True.
Because there's some talented kids, but I never like to have a kid limit himself to he the best right now. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And that's what you get nowadays. You get a lot nowadays, definitely with the camps and stuff. You
So
get the guys. Go ahead.
You don't like those 9th grade committing to Under Armour All American? You know,
Oh my god!
you have no idea how this kid's gonna, progress, and or if he's maxed out yet. You never. You
All right,
don't know.
that's my question to you. Since you've been doing all this for a long time, how do you feel about all that?
I
Is
think
it
it's
too early?
I think it's way too early. I think you don't know what a kid's going to be until at least his junior year. I think you have the one-off kids like a Darwin or this Travis
Mhm.
Hunter.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have some rare. You have some
Yeah.
rare kids.
Yeah, you have some rare kids, but to just name up 200 kids as All-Americans, I think is a participation trophy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that maybe I'm wrong, but I think that junior year is a pivotal year for
Junior year,
for any football player that's trying to get that scholarship, man. You got to really show out and hit the camps and go to the Nike camps, go to whatever you can to get exposure. And I think it's so saturated now. There's announcements for announcements, and it gets to be a lot.
I remember there was one Nike camp. There was one camp. One.
yeah. We
There
had
was-
we
there
had
was
one
no comp-
Nike,
there
we
was
had
no-
one Under Armour, and that it was just like
It was invitation. Like if you got
Yeah.
one in the mail, it said you're invited to the Nike Combine /camp.
Yeah, and it was in Orlando.
Yes.
So
If you
Yeah.
you
got
better
it,
hope to make it because
you wasn't going.
now there's one in Miami, Fort Myers,
And how you get
Orlando,
invited was
Tampa,
you went to the,
Jacksonville. It's
you
all
went to the
over.
combine. The combine was in Miami, Jacksonville, Gainesville, and Tallahassee. There was 4 different locations.
Yep.
You
If
can only
you
go to
wanna
one
you
combine.
better make it.
You can only go to one combine, and from those numbers, they invite people to the camp, and that's where you did your one-on-ones. That's where you did your instruction with the coach and all that kind of stuff. I went every year as a receiver. I used to cheat every time. I was in Kenny's group with Clint Trickett. Remember, we was at UF. We only let Clint throw us the ball.
yeah.
That was my
That's
junior
awesome.
year. We only let Clint throw us the ball the entire Nike camp.
I forget who said it, but a lot of these kids now are evaluated just off what they do in shorts, and I think that's the
man.
biggest thing that has hurt the evaluation process is that there's too much of a dependency on what a kid does in the 7-on-7 setting and not in pads.
True.
Correct.
So it's just changed. The evaluation process has changed. Like when I saw you at at Sling and Shoot at USF a long time ago. You know, you were there, like Chad Abrams was there playing safety.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, but that was like one of the only 2 or 3 camps in Florida that year. Like, you better make it to there, or else you're not getting recognized.
And the thing is now, coming off my year of coaching, like, it's all individualized. Like, I told the guys literally like this week, I was like, how are y'all on the same team of high school, but on y'all on 4 different 7-on-7 teams?
Mm-hmm.
That Sling and Shoot thing, we literally was running our high school plays, getting our timing with our quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we was able to earn scholarships. Now it's all about showcasing how many likes they can get on Instagram and how many views, and it's just it's tearing the game up. But that's where certain individuals come into play and be like, "Hey, young man, that's not what it is. You're gonna get humbled real quick."
Yeah, I was talking. I'm not going to say the kid's name, but this recruit messaged me. He messages me from time to time. He's trying to get offered from Florida State, and he's like, "Well, I'm going to the 7-on-7." I'm like, "Well, has your coach sent them your game film?" He's like, "Nah, you know, I want to show him what I can do 7-on-7." I'm like, "Well, buddy, that's not gonna do much for you. You know, you got to produce on the field first, man."
Mm-hmm. I was gonna,
but also that's an instance where his coach isn't helping him out by, you know, putting together cut up a film for him to put out there. So he's got to depend on a 7-on-7 camp setting to get some recognition.
And Nate, I'm gonna argue with you, Nate. I'm gonna argue, Nate.
Okay, let's argue. Yes.
Or he's better in shorts compared to pads.
Yep.
You know, you see a confidence level go up like this. Pads, you know, some people get alligator arms in pads. 7-on-7, they doing backflips and shit, doing the little dances. They totally different.
The running routes aren't even real routes, you know.
Listen. As a DB that played against receivers like Kenny, I love days and pads as a safety, as a big nigga. And ask Kenny, I cover a lot of guys at State. When I played safety, I had to cover a lot of people. I played a lot on defense before I moved to running back. So, like, I love days and Kenny, cool. Monday, Thursday, I got you. But Tuesday, Wednesday, your ass is mine. And when you come in the slot, I'm trying to grab you, choke you, if I get my hands on you. So, I mean, I get it, but the game changed so much too, though. It's not many padded practices anymore.
Right.
I mean, it's not many. Like, you're in shorts and helmets a lot of the times now. So you have a lot more opportunity to play 7-on-7s. You have football now that is year round. So you can evaluate these kids now year round. You only get to see football for a very limited, condensed period of time.
I also think that a 7-on-7 is tilted more to the offense. I think it's harder to play defense in a 7-on-7.
It is.
So I think that, I don't want to say it's unfair, but you know, it's a lot harder for a defensive back to go out and show out in a camp versus a wide receiver because they have all the control.
Honestly, the kid you not, you can ask Kenny. We went over. We had I can't remember what our team was. It was Dr. Phillips and Polk County had a 7-on-7 team, and Nick Patty was our quarterback. That Badger 7-on-7 over at USF. You know what we did? Know what we ran? Man. Okay, we went against DeMar Dorsey, Teddy Bridgewater. Okay. He was on our sideline, mouthful of gold, grown man, getting ready to go to Florida, go to Michigan, big offers. You know how we're gonna stop you from touching the ball, my guy? We're gonna run man coverage across the board. Okay, how gonna cover you this play? I'm gonna cover you. We're gonna put D. We're gonna put Kenny out there at corner. We're just gonna rotate people on you all day, give you different looks, different feels. We're gonna.
I'm Sherman. Hey, I'm gonna be Sherman though.
Yeah, like I'm just saying,
I ain't gonna be as physical.
But that's what we gonna do, and then that's what we did. The game is not the same. You can't run man like that. You don't got that many DBs on the field that can do that anymore. You got one kid that's highlighted on defense, and the camera's watching him, but it's watching the whole field at the same time. Like you said, Nate, it's built for the offense, for quarterbacks to sling the ball across the field, for receivers to get one-on-ones, and with safeties, it's halfway in the middle of the field to jump up. And I mean, it's different. I mean, it's nice to see Travis Hunter do what he did, but I've seen him do it in pads too. Just like Derwin, we used to see Derwin in 7-on-7s. Once we seen Derwin do it in pads, we knew it was confirmed. Now, so you just have to wait so long to see these kids developed on the actual football field. So they're expecting to be recruited and offered off of what they get to do most of the time, which is 707. They just get it confused. It's different. You're not actually getting to play football.
Before we let you go, Kenny, and we haven't really asked about the current state of Florida State and the program. Just give me your thoughts on Mike Norvell. Obviously, you're staying connected with Ron Dugans. I don't know if you've had any kind of interaction with Norvell or not, but I know that you're interactive a lot with the players. I think at one point you did have a film session with some of the guys about 2 years ago or a year ago. But tell me about the current state of FSU, your thoughts on it, Mike Norvell, and what he's trying to bring and kind of change the culture that has been kind of iffy.
I think they moving in the right direction. He gives me like a almost of a Jimbo type vibe as far as the structure that he wants on and off the field, which is big, because Tallahassee not an easy city to stay aloof in. So I think he got a good staff around him. Kenny D seems like he's legit. Ron Dugans, you never can beat a former player on staff who got the knowledge to get the guys somewhere. And I just feel like, and then you see the recruits, they're coming in. It's feeling like that's how we started with our 2010 class. It started with the recruiting things, and all they got to do is get the guys locked in. It seemed like they working hard. The strength and conditioning coach are doing their thing. I know they under good care with Jake, bald head ass. I miss Jake, by the way. With things like this in college football, you never really know until that game won. And it was the same thing with our former Heisman winner. Like, we had a lot of questions before that Pittsburgh game. Nobody knew. They only knew what happens in the spring game and how good we look moving forward, but they didn't know until Pittsburgh rolled. Each week is a thing. So regardless of the matter of the fact, I'm gonna always be a support of Florida State, whether they go 0-10 versus, So I just hope that.
Real quick, Kenny, you caught that ball against Pitt too on the sideline.
Oh my God! You saw that too, man.
Yeah, you caught that ball.
So they was hating on us early.
Yep. Oh yeah. They always do. They always do.
That was our first level of hate right there. They ain't want to give them.
That was the first sign of it coming.
Right.
And what's happening now, man? I know the wide receivers didn't see a whole ton of love last year, but what a lot of people are expecting. You get Mackenzie Milton. That's a guy that threw. Jameis threw like this. Mackenzie Milton's a special player, definitely at quarterback. He knows how to throw the ball. He's been working out with a lot of the guys getting extra work in. Guys traveling from I can't say where because they're eventually going to be on campus.
No more.
I know, exactly. Yeah, no, we need to come down there. We need to put NG's Instagram though on there. We'll go live there, get some reach out to it because we got to go big. If you're gonna do it, then you got to do it big. Then if it's your first camp, so we'd definitely love to come give some love to it, get some media coverage on it. Tell us. I actually know if you guys want to go check out the camp, find details on it. If you have anybody younger that you think might be interested, or if you're listening to this, go to Kenny's Instagram bio and click the link that has the Eventbrite. All the details there, and like Kenny said, there's more guys supposed to be added for guest coaches. This is one of the most stacked camps that I've seen in a long while. I'm trying to we got to get some more reach out there. This thing is nuts, but definitely looking forward to it to be there in Orlando next month. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're live. God dang it, man. I get pissed off at that kind of stuff. All right. Well, we're live, so don't say anything silly. All right. What is happening? It is like tweeting it out 30 times.
Yeah, I saw that.
What is happening?
Really?
Yeah, what is